This is Dr. David Allen coming to you on the television program, People Helping People. Tonight I'm talking with Patrice Tinker, one of our distinguished co-facilitators of our family program. Patrice has been invaluable to us. She's helped many people. Tonight we're talking about women and abuse. Patrice, you know, in the family, throughout our 24 families, this is a recurrent theme. How does a woman know when she's being abused? Because it's not always physical abuse. It's, what is abuse? And how does a woman know whether she's being abused?
Well, a woman can tell when she's being abused when she's not able to be free to be herself, when the party or individual, because it's not necessarily a male that's doing the abuse. Sometimes you're being abused by relatives, you're being abused by friends, even co-workers where they take advantage of you. So abuse is assumed to be physical, but abuse is also mental, emotional, sexual. You know, there are numerous forms of abuse. And the minute a woman realizes that she's unable to express herself freely, that's when she can automatically conclude that, okay, I think I'm being abused, I'm being taken advantage of.
Patrice, how would a woman know when she can't express herself freely? What are the signs of that?
Well, there's freedom of speech. Somebody wants to convey their ideas to you, but rather than convey it, they come at you, they speak down to you, they speak aggressively towards you. And then you have the manipulators that will, you know, they will come to you in that soft, dramatic way where they pull that guilt trip on you, make you feel guilty about, you know, how you feel about what they're asking of you.
But you know, Patrice, growing up in the Bahamas, some women were taught to be quiet, submissive, and obedient to their man or men or whatever. And so they were brought up very polite and quiet. But from what you're saying is this could be used against them.
Well, not necessarily. In some ways it could be used against them, but then if they're taught to be submissive, they're also taught to be assertive, which means that
you're saying if a woman's submissive, she's assertive too?
No, I'm saying that if you're being taught to be submissive, being taught is like being taught how to react, how to present yourself. So in certain situations, if you're being taught to be submissive, you're also being taught how to respond to situations, which also could be to assertiveness.
So that should go hand in hand.
Yes.
It's okay to be submissive, but you should also develop the ability to be assertive.
Yes.
So abuse comes when a woman is submissive, doesn't have the freedom, but she has not learned to be assertive.
Well, see, you have to understand with abusers, it doesn't matter how assertive or submissive a person is. Their whole idea is to control.
Okay. So the abuse is really on the other person's part doing the controlling.
Right.
So no matter whether the woman's assertive or submissive, the control is coming from the other party.
Right.
Can you tell when you meet somebody or start to date somebody that they're going to be abusive? And if so, what are the signs a woman should look for?
A real good abuser can hide those signs for quite some time.
So you would say it's difficult, Patrice?
No, I'm not saying it's difficult, but you also have to understand it also depends on where that lady is at in her life, because you can be at a vulnerable state, and if you're vulnerable, you're an easy target. So
what do you mean vulnerable?
Okay, let's take for example, a lady is not feeling confident about herself. She just experienced some kind of trauma in her life, or, you know, she's had a lot of misfortune dealt to her. She feels low about herself. So in that case, she's like an easy target for an abuser. So I know of some ladies that have grown up in abusive homes. They feel very low about themselves. So for
What
them,
does it mean to feel low about yourself?
it means that they have no expectations of themselves.
Really?
Nothing. They just want to just make it through the day. And that's really difficult for a lot of people. If you just try to make it through the day, it's impossible for you to even think of any goals or any future that you would want. It's like your imagination has been totally wiped out.
Wow, that's really sad. So in other words, they've been hurt in childhood, and they've learned that they not to expect anything, and they're just trying to get by.
Yes, they're just trying, and in their environment, wherever they place themselves, they normally position or place themselves in these other abusive relationships, environments, because they don't expect anything. Their mindset is not, okay. And then a lot of them don't even realize what they're looking for in an individual as well.
Okay.
All they want is somebody to give them some kind of attention. It doesn't matter what that affection may be. It can be somebody slapping you around. It can be somebody talking down to you. The fact is somebody is giving them attention.
So it's kind of like they're blind to the abuse?
In some ways, yes, they are blind because this is all they know.
But no one starts off being abusive, or do they?
Well, I think it passes down. The abuser, the abuser was once the abused, and it just trickles down. And
now, I know in our meeting on Saturday, a lady shared how that she was talking to this guy, and that she talked with him, and she felt comfortable. Then they wanted to go out to dinner together, and he said, "Well, I'll pick you up." She said, "No, no, 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 no. I have a car. I can drive there." I sat there, and I said, "Well, wasn't he being polite? I'll come and pick you up and take you."
well,
But
it may have been the
group
tone.
jumped on me and said, "Doctor, no, 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 you don't understand. He was trying to play a game." But I thought he was trying to be polite. "I'll pick you up and I'll take you there." And then the group said, "No, no, no." She said, "I don't want to go with you. I want to drive my car there." But couldn't he be just being polite?
He could have been being polite, but then it's always how you communicate with the individual. Like in that instance, the lady probably said to him very politely that, well, that's okay, I'll meet you there. But it's the way he responded that would have probably provoked her reaction.
In other words, "No, no, 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 I'll pick you up."
Right.
So if a person doesn't listen to you, that's a sign that abuse is on the way.
Well, not necessarily, because I think sometimes they just want to be insistent because it's something that they really want to do. But again, like I said, it's the way things are being communicated, because we communicate with our body language, with our tone. It's just probably the way he communicated to her, why she assumed that this person was an aggressive person who probably was also abusive.
Now, Patrice, this is confusing because some women have actually told me they expect their man to be a kind of strong man, and they expect him sometimes to be kind of tough and tight and structured. But in my way, that sounds abusive. But they're telling me that they expect a man to be that way strong. A man who's passive and namby-pamby, they say that doesn't attract them. Do you understand what they're saying? So I said, "You like a bad guy then?" They said, "No, but we want somebody who is somebody assertive." And what are they trying to tell me?
A passive guy, most women would look at as someone what they would call in the term soft. Someone who is
like me. Eh?
Well, I'm not going to touch that because
No, what is soft? No, because you all use that a lot in the family. Soft. What is soft man?
a soft man is a man that doesn't stand up when the time is right, when he's doesn't protect.
Oh.
Right.
So women want protection.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
They want that security, they want that protection, they want that provision. They want to know that if my back is against the wall, I'm going to have a man who's going to come and run to my rescue.
But that sounds like a strong man.
Yes.
What couldn't that
He doesn't
say?
have to be abusive.
Okay. So a man could be strong, protective, but that strength doesn't have to go into being, do what I say.
I think the interpretation of strong for you is physical strength.
Okay.
That's not really the case. Well,
But what
I'm
is-
assuming.
My dear Patrice, what is strong for you?
Strong is for me a man who can hold his own, a man who is confident in who he is and,
okay.
you know, can execute that.
Wow. Where do you find that man?
Well, now. Well, you can find them anywhere, but I don't know. Most men today seem to be a bit jealous, and that gives off some very bad vibes.
But now, Patrice, take jealousy. If a guy loves you, I mean, don't you expect him to be jealous?
Not if he's confident in who he are,
No,
no.
but if he really loves you, if he's not jealous of you, wouldn't you doubt his love?
No.
Okay, I thought some men told me if their man is not jealous of them, they feel he doesn't really love them.
And see, that comes right back to what I said. It's how what you grew up in, your environment, what you were taught, what you were trained. So, like I said, for some women, if you grew up in an abusive household, you expect a man to, you know, abuse you, knock you around, because that's all you know. So, it's all what they've been exposed to.
So you're saying the childhood patterns that we grow up with or experience condition our behavior in adult life?
Influence. I would use the word influence because even though you will have some, there are a small number or percentage that will take that environment and they would flip it around. That is not what I want. Those are some very strong women. Those are the ones, okay, I grew up in this situation. I am not taking that in my adult life. So it all depends on the individual.
But then I've met men who've said she was too strong, and therefore I had to treat her rough to stop her from being tough.
First I've heard that one.
Well, let me explain. They said that she was so strong that they felt almost that she was overwhelming them or abusing them, and therefore they had to assert themselves.
It sounds like a gentleman that I had met some time ago where he said that I should have been a man. I must have been a man in a former life.
He said you were.
Said I must have been a man in a former life.
But
Said,
you are what I call a strong woman. But when I think about what do I mean by that? Well, you're imposing. You're very focused. Sometimes you laugh at my jokes. Sometimes you look at me like I'm crazy. You seem to know what you want. But somebody may say that can be kind of selfish too.
How is it selfish?
Well, it's all about me.
It's not all about me because the whole purpose of life is to live life. And you don't live for others, you live for you. So it's not being selfish. It's like, you know, you want to control me.
Yeah,
And the day you start
Sunday
controlling.
morning, you meet me at the door, and you're telling me you shouldn't live for others, you live for yourself. I thought you were a big Christian man.
I am being Christian, and I'm very genuine when I greet you at the door with my nice big hug.
Okay.
That's very
So
genuine.
you say, even though, but you said don't live for others, live for yourself.
Okay, no, when I say that, the abusers, they want you to live for them. You become their puppet. They pull your strings.
I got you.
Right.
Well, Patrice, how interesting. We're going to take a break and be right back.